A question I'm getting a lot right now, and for the purpose of time stamping this, it is the 1st of May in 2025. But a question I'm getting a lot right now is, are we heading into a recession? We have a new administration in, and this administration is moving fast. And fast moving always creates uncertainty. Regardless of what side you are on the political aisle, the uncertainty will disturb the markets. And I love to describe the markets a lot like my animals. So many of you know I have pet rats, I have chickens, and I have horses. And what's one thing in common with the three of them? Certainly not their size. It is the fact they're all prey animals. And how prey animals work is they see something they don't understand and they hide, or they run, or they rear up, or they react. And then it takes them a minute and they're like, oh, that was no big deal. And they move on. So I'm riding my horse and quail flash out of the brush. Goes the horse. Oh, just quail. Okay. So the markets are a lot like the prey animals, right? When uncertainty comes, market heads down. Doesn't take time to figure out if it's really something to be concerned about. It's uncertainty. We know what's going on here. Markets head down. And then over time, the markets usually figure out, is this something that will really eat us or not? Okay. So currently we had the markets react to an extraordinary amount of policy decisions, executive orders, tariff trade agreements or lack thereof, and the market react as a prey animal. In the medium term, what happens is the market starts to digest data and say, is this really a concern? What else is out there? And what is more important to focus on? So economic data, two parts. The hard data, the data, is actually pretty dang good. We do see a slowing economy, which has been expected for a while, but it's at this point, subject to change, not too bad. Then we have the soft data, which is how people feel. That's actually really bad. So people feel much worse about the economy than the actual data is supporting. And this has to do, again, with a lot of uncertainty, less predictability, and perhaps a lot of news watching as well. So that being said, whether or not we have a recession is actually a second question. No one knows. A slowdown of the economy does not lead to a recession, and even a recession itself doesn't lead to anything significant necessarily in your portfolio or in your financial life. Few people recall that we actually had a recession in 2022, right? So about 3 years ago, just a little less than 3 years ago, we had a recession. Most people didn't remember that, or don't know what. We had a recession in 2022? Yes, we did. Market crashed 27%. Inflation skyrocketed over 9% year over year, right? We had 2 negative quarters of GDP. We had a recession. Why did less people notice it? You noticed it in your portfolio, but it lasted about 10 months in the markets, and then they started to recover. And unemployment was really low, so very few people's financial life was really impacted by that recession. Very few. We're more impacted by inflation and the rapid rising cost of goods. So I bring that up is it's less important whether we'll have a recession or not have a recession. What's more important is how you plan around that. And this brings the importance of having a really good financial plan and a really good financial team that's looking out for you, your future, and your plan.